Welcome Templars to a new video on our channel. Today we are going to talk about the backbone and the 3 key areas where it is getting blocked. Furthermore, we're going to see what impact they have on our health and how they relate to the governor vessel channel or tumai in traditional Chinese medicine. Sounds amazing, right? Well, let's go for it. We are all aware that the backbone is one of the most crucial regions of our body. It is the main support of the tree that enables us to maintain an upright posture and facilitates our daily mobility. However, it is also one of the areas that tend to hurt and bother the most, since we acquire many habits and postures throughout the day that harm it. But the thing is, there are also 3 areas where this is particularly accentuated. And it's not just said now, it's been said since ancient times. And they call this the 3 barriers. And you know that it's very important for your back to be straight and it's good for your overall health. But it's not always like that. There are times when it's fully blocked, either all at once or in certain areas. That's what we'll see. Let's see those 3 key areas where you usually get stuck, which you can have 1, 2, or all 3 affected, and how you can do exercises to unlock and treat them. The first blockage occurs at the level of the belly button and from there downwards, and it is related to point 4 of Tom Mai, which is called Ming Men, and it translates as the gate of life or the gate of destiny. This is a very important point for traditional Chinese medicine, since here resides all our genetic energy or all our vitality or life. If this point is obstructed, it has the potential to interrupt the flow of qi or energy from this point to the legs or vice versa. And if this flow of qi gets blocked towards the legs, we're going to see symptoms like, for example, sciatica, lower back pain, numbness in the legs, or fluid retention. We can also observe a considerable amount of muscle weakness in the waist and hip regions. And our bodies suffer. To access this point, the most effective action we can take is pelvic balancing or mobilizations, as though we were performing a jig. I've discussed posture's importance in many videos, and often our stance starts off on the wrong foot from here. Since we block the hip and don't move it properly, that's why I always give a lot of importance to unlocking it with the balances. But above all, if you have lower back pain or sciatica or leg problems, you should stop it as a daily routine in mobilizing this area. You can do the exercise at any time of the day, especially when you're experiencing pain or when you feel stuck. And if not, that moment when you're dedicating a little bit of time, and we're going to do it as long as necessary until we notice that the movement has changed and we manage to do it better. There is no need to do it quickly. Sometimes it is even better to do it slowly in order to be fully aware of exactly where you are getting stuck and to insist persistently on that move. You all are aware that it is extremely important to pay attention to our emotions. The second zone or barrier that becomes obstructed in the body is situated at the level of the chest and corresponds to point 9 of the governing vessel, which is known as Si Yan and translates to the arrival of the Yan. Slouching, hunching our shoulders, and shrinking the area around the sternum are common habits that many of us have in our daily lives. This is going to cause us to deform the spine in the area where that unwanted hump typically appears and that nobody desires to have. And the obstruction of this region is going to hinder the circulation of qi, energy, or blood from the torso to the arms or from the arms to the torso. And this area is really important because it's where the energy from the torus is exchanged to the stomach. Even if we have this area affected, we are going to see symptoms that affect organs like, for example, the lungs and the heart, which are really important organs that we have right there. And the most effective way to check if we have this area blocked is by looking for that kind of hump or hunchback in the back, or by observing the entire front area shrunk and pushed forward. For example, when we place our arms in front of our body, that's already indicating that we have that area compressed. And of course, at this level, it's the emotions that are going to be affected. And now how do we unlock it? Well, let's perform some movements in which we push our chest backwards and forwards, utilizing our arms for assistance. We're gonna go anyway, slowly, little by little. There's no need to rush and we can do it in different directions. We have the option to go backwards, forwards, or make some small S-shaped movements in order to unlock it. You have to be aware of how far your stance goes, what your limit is, or where the tension is that doesn't let you make the movement perfectly. Just like the previous one, you can do it at any time of the day, but especially when you're realizing that you're slouching forward. It's common for people who work on computers to have this pronounced posture. There, I recommend that you get up about every hour or every 2 hours and do this exercise for at least a minute. And the third barrier or third blockade of the back is in the occipital and is located at the 16th point of the governor vessel channel and is called Fiufu, which translates as wind workshop. It's located right at the base of the occipital, and it's responsible for regulating the flow of qi from the trunk to the head and from the head to the trunk. And when this point becomes stuck, two things can occur for us. When there is an excessive amount of energy in your head, too much qi, and we experience a throbbing head, resulting in headaches, dizziness, or blocks in mental activation. What if we do not have sufficient energy, and we are so exhausted that we cannot even think, tripping everywhere or drifting off to sleep? In other words, it means that we lack that mental energy that we need. And of course, all of this, besides causing tension in the neck, can also give us migraines, eye problems, or ear problems. And here what is being blocked exactly is the center of the mind. To unlock it, we're going to do some little neck movements. But we're not going to confuse it with neck stretches. We're not going to stretch our neck and keep it like we do on other occasions. Here we are going to focus directly on the occipital region, where the neck meets the head. So we're going to do two types of exercise. An exercise that's going to be circular, moving carefully and very slowly the neck in one direction and in the other, making small circles and seeing where we notice the most stiffness. And the alternative method involves performing a zigzag or serpentine motion, bringing the chin towards the chest and then lifting the crown of the head upwards while gradually swinging the neck to unlock the joint, making small movements. Here, I insist you have to be careful. This one is mandatory to do it very slowly and always reaching your level without surpassing it, because it's an area that if you move it too much, you can generate dizziness or undesirable sensations. And these are the 3 areas that are most frequently obstructed. You may have one obstructed, 2, or even all 3, but it doesn't matter. Regardless of the obstacles you have, I recommend that you do all 3 exercises. In this way, you'll help balance the body's energy more, and you'll have a much better idea of which area you're struggling with the most. And even if you only have one blocked area, doing this exercise at all 3 levels is going to help you very well preventively for the health of your spine. And besides these simple exercises I've given you, there are many techniques and therapies that specialize in mobilizing them. Especially the Qigong. We have a video on the channel where we talk a little bit about Qigong exercises. And the thing is, Qigong or Tai Chi are exercises of Oriental origin where we are moving the energy of Qi so that it doesn't get blocked. And he pays special attention to the posture of the back. Plus, since they are low-impact exercises, anyone can do them, regardless of age or condition. To request more videos on Shikuro or Taiji, leave a comment with your written request below. Keep supporting our channel, subscribe and turn on the notification bell. It's completely free and that way you won't miss any of our videos. As always, we'll meet next week. Don't forget to take care of yourself. Your body is your temple.